Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist congregation of Terre Haute. This congregation welcomes all people, regardless of their age, religion, race, nationality, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, or anything else that has been used to divide people. We are a group of people with our own opinions, our own ideas, our own dreams. But we share ideals. We share a common belief in a liberal religion. In our discussions, we may disagree with each other, but we must always remember that what unites us is stronger than what separates us. We must always end the service aware of the love that we have for each other. The fourth principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Opening words. Connections are made slowly. Connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground. You cannot always tell by looking what is happening. More than half a tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Penetrate quietly as the earthworm that blows no trumpet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Spread like the squash plant that overruns the garden. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Weave real connections. Create real nodes. Build real houses. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Keep tangling and interweaving and taking more in. A thicket and bramble, wilderness to the outside, but to us is interconnected with rabbit runs and burrows and lairs. Live as if you like yourself, and it may happen. Reach out, keep reaching out, keep bringing in. This is how we are going to live for a long time. Not always, for every gardener knows that after the digging, after the planting, after the long season of tending and growth, the harvest comes. Marge Piercy. Transitional words. I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. Edward Everett Hale.
Say how happy I am to be here today, because I had no idea that there was a church in Terre Haute that was so inclusive, and looking at this picture of all the religions, and I'm just so happy, and I feel fortunate to be here today that I get to know this. And I feel sad that I've been in Terre Haute for almost 10 years and never knew about it.
I know, we're a well-kept secret, unfortunately.
Yes, absolutely. So if I ever go to a church, this would be the kind of church I go to, if I can ever make time to go in. But right now, my churches, my places of worship is my gardens. That's where I go when I pull weeds. That's how I meditate, and that's how I worship, because I believe that God created the universe, and God gave us everything we will ever need. Air, perfect, water, plants, every single food, every single medicine, every insect species, everything we can ever think of up with so many things. We pollute water, we pollute air, we don't take care of the soil, our food is not as nutritious. So even when I was growing up, I was always thinking about these things, but then I was told to give a little biography, little introduction about myself. I'm a pharmacist. I went to pharmacy school in India. I got my master's in biochemical engineering, which was a lot of fermentation technology. I was always interested in health sciences and helping myself and other people achieve good health. But I came to the United States in 2000 for my PhD in biomedical studies. I went to Baylor University in Texas, which was really sad and boring. And I endured through 5 years of that. I worked in the lab. My dissertation, it's basically genetic engineering. We were working on trying to make vaccines for allergens. And something just didn't feel right. I'm more of a nature person, even though I'm a pharmacist and I have all this education. I feel like we are tampering with nature more than we need to. So I didn't pursue a career after my PhD. I went back to my pharmacy job and I worked in the hospital for over 6 years in Ohio. Then my husband got a job here in Indiana State University, so we moved here. And a few years I was staying home. I had little kids. I did not have a work permit. And that's when I was really restless and depressed and sad. I didn't have friends in Terre Haute. And I was like, I need to do something good. I need, all my dreams were kind of crashing. I had dreamt to be this world famous scientist or something, but my PhD dissertation, I didn't really agree with it. So that was down the drain. And here I was not even able to work and no family around here. So after a lot of being in sadness and depression, I realized that how much poverty there is, and there is so many kids, they don't have access to food. I started working with 14th and Chestnut Community Center, where I started taking kids to the garden. And that's when I started being happy that when kids came to the garden, so many of these kids, they didn't know where onions come from, what cucumbers look like, how potatoes grow. So when I took these kids to the garden, they will say, this is the best day of my life. And that was it. That was like, that was total transformation from me being really sad and depressed. I'm like, I found the meaning of my life and I found joy. And I never looked back. Then I was just always aware of a big recycler, but over the period of time I learned that we need to find solutions. We need to do something about it. So I figured just me sharing on Facebook, oh, how much plastic trash and this and that it was motivating, inspiring some of my friends. But then I figured if we have an organization, we could do more through the organization. And that's how Rethink was born in 2005, October 2005. And since then, we've added gardens. We have 6 community gardens in the Rives neighborhood. One's for Eden, for Rives Youth Center, Eden of Rives. We have a butterfly garden, which is a pollinator garden right across St. Anne's Church. And we have 4 other gardens. One's right outside our office. This year, February, we signed the lease for our upcycling, recycling center, which is a big 4,000 square feet space. And I had been praying about it, but then we found a collaboration at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, and we also found Megan, who was really interested in building machines to upcycle this plastic, because if you remember 2 years ago, China quit taking plastic. And believe it or not, we ship all this trash to different countries to be recycled there, which more than half of it ends up in landfills anyways. So China had, since they started these plastic recycling industries, which plastic, originally it was material, a raw material that they could turn into other things, but you have to realize when you recycle plastic, it's made of petroleum, and when you, in the process of recycling, there is so much pollution created in the air and in water, and the way we recycle, single stream, put everything, and we think, oh, it's good enough, it's clean enough, and then we feel good about it. Oh, I recycled, I did my part. And then they open it, there's all kinds of trash, you know, food waste. What does food do? Gets bacteria, fungus, contamination, half of it they have to throw away anyways. But their villages, the small pristine villages that had clean water, birds, trees, this and that, they started getting so polluted that the transformation of village from a nice pristine village to a dead place where birds aren't singing anymore. The water is so dirty, it looks black. People have to wear masks on a daily basis. And the cancer rate was increasing so much in those cities or places where they had these plastic industries, plastic recycling. So there are books written about it. So China said, we can't do it anymore. And they quit taking plastic trash, which I don't know why they were even taking it to begin with. And then a lot of trash also gets sent to India, all these developing countries, and a lot of even medical waste. Like, it's really ridiculous what we do. So I always think that human brain, we are so intelligent. We've reached moon, we know Mars, we've done all these amazing things, but we are not wise. We don't have the wisdom to know what we are doing, and we are very, very short-sighted. All that plastic that we've used up, landfills and oceans, just in last about 50 years. If you will probably remember 50, 60 years ago how things were done. And then we've gradually, slowly, in the corporate greed, everything is single use, everything is use and throw. So through Rethink, the mission of the organization is to reduce, reuse, rethink. We want to promote reducing the amount of plastic that we even use. Change message, C for carry your water bottle, because plastic water bottles, they're just ridiculous. And just a fun fact, if you ever use plastic, that 1 liter water bottle, 4 liters of clean water has already been polluted by filling that 1 liter of water bottle. And that's even before it's trash, like and then all the energy we spend in transportation and all that. H is hesitate to use styrofoam. Styrofoam is really bad for the environment, for birds, animals. A for avoid grocery bags. We use trillions and trillions of grocery bags. We use them for 12 minutes on an average, and then they will be sitting somewhere for hundreds of years creating trash. N, say no to straws. G, grab your silverware, all those things we use for a few seconds, few minutes, and then it's trash for over 500 years. And E, eliminate K-cups, those little coffee pots that make coffee. We use enough of those to wrap the earth around more than 10 times every single year. That's how many coffee pots we use. So change message, promoting whenever, wherever, however we can, spread the message of reduce and reuse. So I'm all about creating solutions. There are a lot of problems, and we talk about problems, but what do we do about it? Let's find solutions. So I have some flyers for you guys to take, and 6 community gardens, through our 6 community gardens, and this is so pretty. Look at what Pam did. I was at the garden working yesterday, and Pam was picking this stuff, and these onions just look so mouth-watering. We also have a small composting program. You sign up for 1 whole year, $60 a year. Every time you take your food waste, you get a clean bucket. You can take more than 1 bucket. garden. And depending on how you eat, almost 50% of your trash bag could be food waste that has to go back to the soil. Everything in this creation is just perfect. We are supposed to eat, we are supposed to put nutrition back to the soil. It's not supposed to sit in the landfills. All those banana peels and apple cores and pineapples. So we have this composting program. Plastic upcycling. So since China is not taking plastic, it's very hard to recycle plastic. With the collaboration with the professor in Rosalman and Megan, who's our operations manager, we've ordered a shredder. So plastic upcycling, I'll give you a quick overview. We take clean plastics, mind you, it has to be clean. We do not have washing facilities. Last week we had to kind of take a break and pause because people were bringing all kinds of dirty plastics, like really nasty, fungus, moldy. So clean plastic, imagine one machine where we are shredding it. First we have to sort it. I wish I had a presentation to show you some pictures. So plastic is types number 1 to 7. We sorted number 1, 2, 3, 7. We got a grant from United Way of Wabash Valley that we've hired someone who lives in Bethany House. And she sorts the plastics, cuts the label off, takes the lids off, removes the labels if she can. Then once we get the shredder, which we've already paid for it, it's already being built, hopefully we'll get it soon. We shred the plastic by the type. And then we have to buy 2 or 3 more machines. And then, you know, someone was saying collection of lids to make benches. That's kind of what we are going to do. We can have molds. We are going to have a sheet press, the machine, make bricks, make planks. So basically upcycle the plastic so we can use it to make items and then maybe sell it at our store or use it in our gardens. And we have a zero waste store because I realized that instead of me telling you, oh, you know, you don't have to use this laundry detergent because every month you have this big container that you have to throw away, and you know there are all these options available that you can buy this laundry detergent which is powdered, it's packed in paper, whatever, or things like wooden forks and spoons, compostable plates and cups and soaps and this and that. I figured that if we have a place where you just walk in, you look at everything and you buy it, you don't have to do your own research. I do all the research. I've been spending hours and hours for every single product. So we have this bamboo toothbrush. So I kept reading about them and I was like, what about the bristles? Because the handle's bamboo, but the bristles are still nylon, so what's the point? So I kept looking and looking and looking, and finally I found a toothbrush where even the bristles are made from vegetable oils. So it's compostable. You can just stick your toothbrush in your planter, in your bed, in your compost bin. So we spend a lot of time, or I spend a lot of time doing research, trying to find products where the packaging is without plastic or as much as we can have without plastic. It's made in the United States because, believe it or not, you can find products at much cheaper prices and it would be shipped from New Zealand, it would be shipped from this country, that country. So I work hard to try to find products that are made locally. We have the shampoo bottle. Think of all those shampoo bottles and even the body bath products that every month you have all these plastic bottles going to, but we have the shampoo bar made locally that there's no packaging, no anything. If it works for your hair, great. If not, it's a great body bar. And so the zero waste shop is all about that. We have very limited funding, so we buy some products, try it out, so it doesn't look like your typical supermarket where you have all kinds of stuff. And then we also have a program, it's called Terra Cycle. If you are interested for-profit business. It's a big business that they have collaborated with a lot of different companies to upcycle their waste. So we have a list of 25 companies that I should have brought the list, that companies, we can collect those items and we can ship those items back. So we have a big box where you can use your razors and blades. Once the box is full, we will ship it back and they will be upcycled. Think about it. What do we do with all those razor blades? They all go to trash. They don't go to typical recycling bin. Then, if you know that Barilla company pasta, you can bring those packages back to us. There is, what is this company? They have this washing soda, baking soda products. So anyways, there is a list of 25 companies, big stationery company, that you can collect. If you use those products, you can collect those packaging and you can drop it to us. And once we have enough of it, we will ship it to be upcycled. So these are just our programs. If you're on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Wabash Thinks, visit us. We are on 13th Street, the big building that used to be Big Picture. And I already have my volunteers here. I was so happy to see Lindley and Ray and my Earth Angels here. They've been helping out at the garden. The kids did the sustainability camp last week. What else? We always need volunteers. If you like to be an angel for one of our gardens, you can go to one of the gardens, you can adopt just one of the gardens or just one bed, and every once in a while, like once a week or so, you just spend an hour or two, take care of that little piece. Our fundraiser got canceled. We do this fashion show, replay runway, every year where our models make outfits. We are planning to do some online version so people can still vote. So within a month or so, hopefully we'll have something. We will be doing this mom's sale. I signed up for our fundraising because now we have bills to pay. We have to pay rent, we have our electricity bills going high, and water and sewage and all that. So every month we have to pay at the very least $2,000 per month to keep up the place, and then pay the operations manager and a couple other workers and all the gardens. So we always need money. If you ever see anything about that. And I can't think of anything else, but if you have any questions. Yes?
Where is the store? Is it in the old Big Picture building?
Yes. Yes. If you're driving on 13th Street, we are right there on 13th and Spruce. You cannot miss it. Yes, there is a garden, and we have signs that say rethink. We have 2 signs, one on each side. Even on the building we have painted, it says, one side it says rethink, one side it says zero waste shop. Yeah, you can't miss it if you're going over there.
I didn't know that's where you sold recycling.
Yes. So you can bring your clean. It has to be washed and make sure it gets dried before you bring it, because otherwise it's just going to sit there and get moldy, and we don't want to get people sick. So as long as it's clean. Now, we removed the bins from outside, but you can still come in and we'll just take a look, it's clean, and then we'll accept it.
Thank you, Shikha.
Absolutely. And I have these. Thank you so much. I will be happy to share.
Well, stay around.
Yeah.
Closing words. Now is the accepted time, not tomorrow, not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year. It is today that we fit ourselves for the greater usefulness of tomorrow. Today is the seed time. Now are the hours of work, and tomorrow comes the harvest. and the playtime. W.E.B. Du Bois.